the people that are on this call, assuming that you're doing scaling of any kind, right? Not complacent, but scaling of any kind, should be looking to create strategic depth. And what that means is the things, just simple version, the things that were our A time, the things that only Rob Rowsell could do over a period of time become, number one, mundane, and number two, our B and C time. If we've held on to it for too long, it's probably our C time by now. And the goal is to create strategic depth within our company so that other people are doing those tasks. Okay, whether that is a VA that's doing it from the Philippines, or whether that's a person within your office and you're adding to your staff, whatever the case may be, because, and there's three reasons for doing that. It's very, very important. One of the most important reasons is to protect your joy. Because I'm telling you, there's a bottleneck that happens that stunts your growth and puts your capacity at only a certain level when you've got to approve whether or not we're ordering a case of toilet paper, as an example, right? There's just no need for you to be the guy that's monitoring how many rolls of paper towel are on the shelf, right? As an extreme example. But I don't know about you, but I've been there. So as our company grows, these things need to get handed to somebody else. Some of that stuff is email. A book that I'm reading right now that I read a long time ago, so long ago that I barely remember, but boy, does it make sense now, is The 4-Hour Workweek. Right? So if you haven't read that book, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. At least get it on Audible. And some of the stuff he tells you, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I could never do that. But some of it's by Timothy Ferriss, The 4-Hour Workweek. And the one that I'm reading is the expanded and updated version. I don't know what that means because I can't remember reading the other one, the other version that I've read. But so reason number one, to protect your joy. Number two is to give you more time for those things that you really only you can do, right? Because as we learned at the event, JR, those things that only you can do, that's your $50,000 an hour time. That's your $5,000 an hour time. That could be a $500,000 hour, what comes out of those things that only you can do. For instance, for those that own auto repair shops, and JR, I know you can relate to this, Brad, you as well, is finding and locating our next location, right? Negotiating a lease, those things that, right now, at least for now, at the level we're at, that's going to be an A time for us. We're meanwhile cleaning email that makes absolutely no sense that it's even in our box. A VA could have access to our email and cleaning that stuff, right? That's not A time for us. It's fun. It's brain candy. I call it brain candy because it's kind of fun, but it's definitely not productive. It's a waste of our time. And also one of the things he talks about in the book that I'm actually going to be doing is looking at email twice a day. I know that seems impossible, but setting your time, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. is the two times, because has anybody ever been sucked into the email hole where you're just going to check it and do a flyby and you end up there 2 and 3 hours later, right? So the key thing is scheduling those times. Again, strategic depth. What I want, and I don't have it yet, what I want is I want my email box cleared so that I know what's in there is the stuff that is my A time, right? And if it's not my A time, but I want it, it's tagged and it's put in a file to where I can go look at it when it's B time. So those are the types of things. So strategic depth. And then the third reason, and this is it's not more important than your joy. It's not more important than freeing up time, but I don't even know how to equate this, but it's also to make your business more valuable for a sale. Because for those of you that don't know, the multiple that you can receive for your company is going to rely upon how close to what we call a fully operational or level 3 business that you own. Because believe it or not, and I used to ask the question, but some people don't, but big companies, if they want to buy your companies, they're going to ask, how long has your manager at each store, or at your store, if you've only got one store, or your right-hand person that's going to stay on with them, how long have they been with you? And if the answer is 3 months, the value of your company is a whole lot less than if it's 3 years or 30 years. Now, if it's 30 years, that's bad too, because that person's probably going to retire soon, right? But you want that sweet spot. Like you want 5 years, because that's what they call the seasonality of your team. If you've got a brand new team that you're churning once a year because for whatever reason they're just not staying, whether it's pay, we're not paying them enough, or we're not friendly enough that people want to work with us for long periods of time, right? I've been there before. had to change my demeanor, right? I had to change if I wanted people to stay. I don't know. I'll be transparent and share that with you, right? So the seasonality of our team makes our and building that strategic depth. If I'm still the guy that everything has to be funneled through, the value of my company goes away because I'm not selling a business. What am I selling? I'm selling a high-paying job. And a high-paying job sells for less than a business with systems, processes, and procedures that anybody can come in, open up a file called the CBS, the Complete Business System, or UBS, the Ultimate Business System, whatever you call your stuff. Should be a folder on a computer that you could share in a Dropbox, and anybody could find any to-dos on your business, right? The what did you used to call it, Gary? The how-to manual, right? The how-to manual, right? I call it the CBS, the Complete the Business System, which is a folder that anybody can go into and they find the different categories. We'll talk about that on a different call, but every category should have a folder, and every category should fit into 5, maybe 7 total topics. And everything that you build, every what we call SOP, right? Every standard operating procedure should be within that file. And what are you doing when you create that stuff? You're making your business more valuable.